Did you come down by the horse trail? Here we are.
We're talking
back.
hiking.
No,
Well,
I
you know
did,
what?
I did
This,
stairs.
this
Where
is
you
the,
did the stairs.
The cables up and stairs down, right?
Yeah.
I
Well,
did
but I
stairs.
mean, you can also go up the stairs. We're talking about the hike to Half Dome because we have a slide here. Blake,
Show the Half
both
Dome
Blake
slide.
and I have made the trek to the top of Half Dome, and when you're coming back, you have a choice. You can
Yes.
go the horse trail, as they call it, or
Okay, no, I did
or the stair
stairs.
trails
Yeah.
of Vernal Falls.
Yes.
I went up that way. That's the way you want to go. But I thought it'd be smarter coming down the horse trail than take the stairs at the end of the hike.
Yeah.
Brutal. Don't do it. Do the stairs.
I did that when my wife and I weren't married, and we ended up getting married. So it all worked out. It was
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's
So anyway, here's what you want to do. You want to get to Yosemite and hike Half Dome when you're not at the race.
yeah.
that would be that's one of my things to do.
But
I've-
you've got to have permits now.
I have not been up there since I was like 7 or 8 years old, so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Been to
Yeah.
many other national parks, and one of the other one's Angel's Landing up in Zion, which is a great place to go to as well. So
Yeah.
anyway, there's Lois Henry and former NFL player Kenny Graham going to pick up his dogs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
And Lois, and she's got 2 dogs with her
she
today.
got 2 dogs with her.
Well, we're the Californian. We've got dogs and
Dogs,
everything else.
and
running
we
around
talk
here.
about racing here.
And we do racing once in a while.
It is the only place in the country where you can have dogs in one
Dogs.
area and then we have racing in the other area. Well, Blake Bowser's here, and there were no dogs. Actually, there's
There are
always
probably
dogs
some
at
dogs.
Famosa.
Yeah,
there's
a
always
few.
a few dogs
Keep
there.
them on leashes. They're okay.
Yeah.
Don't bring them out to starting line. Hurts their ears.
That hurts their ears.
Yeah,
But I've
their
seen. I
feet.
took a picture.
Yes.
Of a guy
Yeah,
that
lots
had the dog.
of people put the muffs on the dog's ears.
Exactly.
Andra was back out there again. Butch Hedrick with the American Nostalgia Racing Association. We had.
Hey, look at
That's
the
our-
watermarks on those photos. I just want to say that's a great watermark that you put on that photo that Tom Mock did there.
Tom Mock was in fine form. I don't know if I go through some of these photos here for a second here, and let's see if Blake has anything to say about anything that was out there.
Hey, look at it. I love this shot because, Tom uses the flash that blinds 42,000 people from about 100 feet away. But it sure lights up the inside of the car so you can see the sunglasses right here. Just a great shot there.
Yeah, I made the mistake of talking to Tom one weekend. I said, man, I just love I think I mentioned on last week's show about the old school setup that Tom has,
right.
and at the track, Tom showed me, he says, nothing old school about this setup, And I didn't mean it that way. I just meant that the flash, nobody uses that
No,
anymore. It's
nobody-
just, that's why he's getting those clear images like that.
Nobody
I mean, that
uses-
is incredible.
Yeah.
That previous shot, that is so clear. Look how clear that
Yeah,
is.
it's incredible.
Yeah. No
incredible.
one's getting that kind of stuff. Nobody. So it's,
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what you guys are paying him, but
Absolutely nothing.
absolutely
We need to
not
double his
enough.
salary. we,
Yeah,
we need to pay him twice
we,
as much.
we gave him an ad last year for Gil's transmission in the.
I mean,
recap
look at
page.
this.
Yeah.
This is just great.
And usually they'll get clearer here, but it's
Yeah.
blurred out. But everything is just it really
Well, and the thing I like about
it makes
too,
us look good.
there's sort of a vintage tinting to that. Go back to the other photo
Yeah,
for a second.
yeah.
There's just kind of a cool tinting to the way the photos turn out as well.
Yeah.
That speaks to, especially in Famosa, to the why people go there in the first place.
Well, I think he did a pretty good job of capturing the variety, which I've always said, Anra,
Yeah.
if you're a car buff, old school
There's
car
Bush.
buff, Anra is just a great
Working hard and
great to
looking
go
busy.
to because
It
it's such
is,
a
so diverse.
so many
Yeah.
cars and so
Yeah.
diverse.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I don't know who that guy was, there before. Some guy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who that is.
Butch photographs well. That's a good shot.
Yeah.
But just all the
Yeah,
diversity
just-
of
it really is. Yeah, it's
this is a
amazing.
great one too because you can see the water coming off.
That's
in the
actually rocks pouring
is
out.
that
Like little, I mean,
little
they
rocks?
look like boulders,
Yeah.
with
people-
with Tom's photo. Those are just little rocks. I'm driving through,
Yeah.
going to your pit area.
I see
and
this
they
lime
shake them out the
green.
wheel wells.
You see that? You see the lime green on the roll bar and the undercarriage? That's the color my 69 Javelin was that I worked so hard at the BC Body Shop to exercise every bit
nice
of lime green from that and paint it blue. And now people like lime green now, again.
lime green's a beautiful color.
There you
beautiful
go.
color.
It's supposed to be bad luck at a racetrack.
This
though,
is
no green.
to me this is drag race right here. This shot right here of
Yeah.
Camaro making its way down. This is a beautiful shot. And
Yeah, it was another good weekend. So
All right.
we'll come back in August and do it again
let's
for
go through
his.
let's go through these results because we got a lot to still talk about.
Yeah.
In NE1 7.60
Yep. Index.
Ted McDavitt out of Benicia was the top qualifier, but Jason Barta got the win. He's out of Bakersfield, of course. They are one of the, I mean, as far as local teams go, they're one of the best ones out there, too.
Absolutely. The whole family. Yeah, there's several of them that race. In fact, their first qualifying run Saturday, they had a brand new set of tires on rear slicks, and they were trying just to get them broke in. Didn't work out too well, but they broke those things in fast, and that car was on a rail all weekend. So they're
He's
the
the
team to beat,
defending champion, and he's 2 for 2. Won the first annual race, won this race. So.
Yeah, they're the team to beat for sure.
Jason beats Joey Trotsky of Ventura in that NE1 class. In NE2, 8.60 index or 860 index. That's Ted New of Shafter with the win over Rick Nordis, who was a top qualifier out of Porterville. In NE3 and 960 index, Lindsey Lister, name we've called many times here on the show, out of San Pedro, with the win over William Kennedy out of Hesperia. John Cassie was the top qualifier out of Sacramento. Moving on to A-Gas in the 760 index, that's Brian Rogers of Fontana with the win. He beats Casey True from the Central Coast of Santa Maria.
Yep.
Tom Fowler, who I think won this earlier for ANRA, he has the number 1 qualifier out of Paso Robles. In B-Gas, Bakersfield's Val Miller, an all-Bakersfield final, beats Roger Stallnaker of Bakersfield there. That was probably one you probably have to stop and look at for a second with Val Miller and Roger. In C-Gas, another Bakersfield win. Chris Curtis beats Brian Smith out of Ojai. Mark Capps was the number 1 qualifier in C-Gas from Madera. In D-Gas, Exeter's Daniel Brown beats Pat Walker out of Bakersfield. Tim Gorman out of Bakersfield was the number 1 qualifier. And in E-Gas, 1160 on the index, Josh Wagner wrapping up an all-area selection performance with the second win of the season. He's Butch Hedrick's grandson. He races out of Wasco. Yep. And I noticed that, is this Butch's son that was the number 1 qualifier or grand?
Yes, that's his son.
That's his son.
Yes.
So Butch, a family affair there in the E-Gas category, because Butch was the number 1 qualifier. The runner-up was Richard Lillo of Templeton, a guy's name we've also called many times here. In Hot Rod, Steve Archuleta getting his first win of the season.
That's my phone.
Oh, there you go. What's going on there? It's like you have a little train action going on there. Out of Tehachapi, Pat Walker of Bakersfield was your runner-up. And in the number 1 qualifier was Daryl Sizemore of Bakersfield. Sportsman class, Jeff Folan of Mission Hills beats Tulari's Ken Ricks. Chris Fredrickson of Bakersfield was the number 1 qualifier. In open wheel, Hesperia's Chris Lee with the win. Beats Fred Atkinson out of Kingman, Arizona. How many out-of-staters did you get? Not many, or is that a few?
Not as many as we see some of the juniors too had their Western Conference finals back in I think Oklahoma, so that kind of cost us some there. And then some of the people who come bring their big cars and little cars, so not as many of the out-of-staters, but
Joey
still a great mix of
mix
people
of
though, as far as diversity, where they came from
all over the state. I mean,
absolutely,
that's big as well. I mean, you've got San Bernardino County, you got Tulare County, you got Fresno.
Yeah.
Junior comp. I should mention that Joey Peterson of Fraser Park was the number 1 qualifier in open wheel. In junior comp, it was Maddie Hanser out of I'm not sure what that Cool Cal. I'm not sure what that's.
That may not
cool
be right.
California.
Yeah, Cool California. Yeah, it's cool. She beats Hannah Bowles of Strathmore. And then in Junior 1, ages 8 through 9, Tegan White of La Habra with the win over Trent Flores of Hanford. Abigail Rogers of Bakersfield was the number 1 qualifier.
And that's in the that's a girl who had her dragster
That's our Inman
stolen.
Fuels supplier.
Yeah, she had
their daughter.
Remember the dragster stolen, recovered, so she got back out there and raced.
And she was excited to. She showed me her T-shirt over the weekend. It says "Home is at the drag strip."
Nice.
Or "Home is at the track," something like that.
That's
but
awesome.
She's just into it. Yeah.
In Junior 2, ages 10 to 12, Aiden Pyers of Madera was the winner over Mason Rushing of Atascadero. Ethan Woola was the number 1 qualifier out of Bakersfield. Junior 3, ages 13 to 14, Sydney Copping of Placerville. Taylor Harris was second in that race. She's from Bakersfield, or he's from Bakersfield. Sydney Copping of Placerville is the number 1 qualifier. Ages 15 and up, Hannah Bowles was the winner there out of Strathmore, beating Nicholas Van Horn of Downey. Denver Wright of Oakhurst was the number 1 qualifier. You know, it's interesting, those junior ones we talked about before. Again, a lot of girls
Yes.
making their mark there. Is that what? Do you think that do you see it as a trend moving forward? That you're and Mike's got a story on a young woman who's been a pretty interesting story on a young woman who's been winning.
We'll be running that on Sunday, I believe, Krista.
Yeah, I think
Shadam.
we're already seeing it. I mean, we're seeing it up in the NHRA, pro ranks. It's
Right.
it's happening. I mean, if you think it's not going to happen, you're wrong, and it's just going to continue to be a feeder. And it's going to just get more and more
It's interesting that
slanting that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
different. I think there's probably Krista was saying that she's basically the only woman running Super Pro at Famoso regularly now, but then in the pro category, there's quite a few. But right now
Yeah.
at Famoso,
Katie Layton
Yeah,
out of
and-
Ridgecrest, but she's her car's. Well, she's parked. She's having a baby.
she's
so
pregnant, so-
David's taken over the car, which is
Yeah.
her dad. He's raced forever. I mean, the Laytons from way back and all that. So yeah, but yeah,
but there's a ton
not
of,
a lot of
you can
females in
anytime
that
you look
area.
through the whole qualifying list, you'll
Yeah.
see plenty of women in drag racing.
A
Various
lot of females in
categories.
nostalgia racing. That's exciting.
Yeah.
there really is a lot.
It's
So
it's gonna be interesting. Hey, real
yeah.
quick, hot rod reunion update. Anything new? Anything coming up we should be aware of?
I know the snake's coming because he sent me a text this week, asked me for the dates. He wanted
Okay.
to bring that car. He
That car
just
up there?
rebuilt,
Okay.
so he's all excited. It's going to be a doozy. Yeah, I know everyone's. There's a lot of guys testing, wanting to test, get ready, and it's going to be. If you haven't got your tickets, you better lock
get
onto
there-
them.
better get there
Yeah,
now.
it's going to be a big one.
October will be here before you know it. It's a
Very quick.
It's a huge racing month for everybody, so we look forward to that.
Yeah,
All right,
we're already working on it. I mean, things are already in process for it.
Blake, thanks for joining us.
You bet.
Have a great holiday weekend.
Yep.
We'll be right back with more. David Sullivan, Bakersfield Speedway, coming up next here. We'll talk about their big weekend of racing and what's coming up next for the Speedway.